Love this podcast? Support this show through the Acast supporter feature. It's up to you how much you give, and there's no regular commitment. Just click the link in the show description to support now.
We've been rocking and rolling with our series of Hall of Fame interviews, but this episode we are going to take a break from that and return back to our independent wrestlers. You know, the Duke loves to seek out new and exciting talent out there and help you know who's next in the world of pro wrestling. And certainly, we have 3 folks this week that are going to knock your socks off. So strap in, get ready. It's going to be a fun conversation, 2 separate conversations. I can't wait to share that with you. But before we get to that, a pause for the cause. Have you subscribed to the Panera Bread Unlimited Sip Club? Folks, what are you waiting on here? We're talking $8.99 a month so you can grab yourself a drink once every 2 hours. It is fantastic. And let me tell you something. They've expanded the Unlimited Sip Club. So not only can you get your hot or iced coffee or your hot or iced tea, now you can get the fountain drink. So if you want to grab yourself a soda, or check this out. Okay, we are talking about the charged lemonades. Strawberry lemon mint, Fuji apple cranberry, or the mango yuzu citrus. Okay, these are clean energy drinks, folks. Okay, we're talking about guarana and green coffee extract. Gives you a nice little boost. It certainly keeps me charged up to deliver the best episodes of Duke Loves Rasslin for you. So what are you waiting on? Visit your local Panera Bread or go to PaneraBread.com. Sign up for the Unlimited Sip Club. Enjoy.
You're locked in.
Look at what we have here, folks.
To the only show that matters.
The cream of the crop.
Duke Loves Rasslin.
And there is no one that does it better than
Your hosts,
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
the Duke.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
So yeah, it's your boy
Sleazy Al.
It's your boy Dirty Cam, and that's Cam with a K, and we are the Russell Twins.
Cameron with a K. The last time you were on the show, you threatened to mess me up, and that's why I've stayed away from Florida, because I was challenging you on whether or not you knew how to spell your own name, and I guess that wasn't a good idea. But you know, I hear through the grapevine that you fellas are spending more time down in Texas. So does that mean I can creep back into Florida now, Cam?
I mean, I don't think. Look. I mean, as long as you say it correctly, then you got your pass. You can head your way back to Florida because right now we handling business in Texas. I'm not saying my business is done in Florida, but
Well, come on, Cam. I mean, listen, man, can't we all just get along? I mean, what's going on here? Because you fellas have made your way to the Dog Pound Dojo. We got Rodney Mack. We got Jazz. They've been, helping you fellas work on some new tools there, and you've been taking that out there to all the different shows and what have you. So, what's the experience been like working with Rodney Mack and Jazz, and then taking that onto the Texas indie scene?
It's actually been quite of an eye-opener. Being around them, they taught us certain ways to go about things, and, we show that in all our matches now, and people could see it, and that's why we're the Dog Pound champions.
I mean, is that a mutually expressed feeling there, Al? I mean, are you getting something out of training with Rodney and Jazz there?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. We just came from there a few weeks ago. It was like a crazy experience. They really are teaching us a lot, and we pretty much are starting to figure out ourselves as a team 100%. We know who we are, but they're actually putting things together for us, kind of helping
making
us,
it make sense.
Making everything make sense, and basically pretty much doing less. Doing less is more. So it's stuff like that. So it's a lot, and it's pretty helpful. So,
and major thing is to slow down, so we definitely learning to slow it down. Cause we, the Russell Twins got a lot of energy, so.
Yeah.
Well, and listen, and Al, we'll start with you on this one here, because I know that just like Cam just said, the Russell twins were known for just moving fast. You want to get all your stuff in. You're trying to wow the crowd. And it's not unlike what a lot of indie wrestlers feel like they have to do. I mean, in this modern era, there is a disconnect that it's normal. You feel like in order to get a reaction out of the crowd, you got to do more. You got to do more. And if they're not making noise, then maybe I'm not doing enough. Spending time in Texas, Al, how have you seen, especially watching some of the other guys work, some of the other ladies work, and then taking it back and applying it yourselves? Do you realize now the importance of slowing it down?
Oh yeah, 100%. It's basically like really taking the time, for example, we'll be in the ring, instead of like completely beating them up, like 100%, we take the time for the crowd to, understand what we're doing exactly. So like, that's like, if I have to put them in a hold, look at the crowd real quick, it gives the crowd time to react. You know what I mean?
Cameron with a K here. Why weren't you fellas doing that in the beginning? I mean, why were you moving so fast in the beginning, and what made you finally start to buy into the importance of slowing it down, telling a story, allowing the fans to process what they're seeing, which can take time? What made you buy into the philosophy of slowing down?
When we were younger and we first starting out, we felt like we needed to move fast, move quick to show everybody what we can do. It's just like watching the movie, watching the movie. If the movie was just rushed through, how could you, connect to it, So just like wrestling, we implement it and show that we can. Slowing it down is very, very, very important because you want everybody to grasp the story, grasp what's going on in the ring.
You fellas starting to sound like veterans now. It's like, you dropping these gems on these younger wrestlers now. I love it. That's what we like to hear, man. Because listen, it's so important. And I've been doing this show for over 6 years now, and I've had all the Hall of Famers, all the top trainers, people who have been very successful, made a lot of money in wrestling. And most of them, when they first started out, they all felt the same way. They have to do more and more. And even these days, where the pressure of doing dives and flippy dippy peanut butter skippy and all that nonsense. And it's not until you get a little bit more experience that you start looking at, well, who's on top? And even those folks, when they do a flip, you notice that they're doing a flip at the right time where you can maximize within the story. It just makes sense. You can maximize the reaction from the crowd versus as soon as you get in there, you got to jump around like you jump around and break your neck and all this other nonsense. Like that's not wrestling. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that you fellas are starting to buy into the philosophy. It's very important. Sticking with you, Cam, you fellas went from Florida to Texas, and we know that Duke Loves Rasslin is all about the food. So I need to know, man, how has the food situation been in Texas, especially compared to where you're coming from in Florida?
Man, look, honestly, the food in Texas is amazing. You get my boy Izzy could back me up on this because we all out there. Every time we go out there, is always there's a food truck next to the venue. The venue, they sell like steak and chicken and all kind of stuff and fries and it's a lot of Mexican food out there, and it's like good Mexican food, it hits the spot.
Al, tell me about the ribs, man, because I'm a barbecue ribs kind of guy. Have you gotten into any of the barbecue, Al?
We haven't gotten to the barbecue yet, but
I did. Where Rodney?
Oh, have you? Oh,
yeah.
Well, let them know.
Yeah, I had pulled pork. It was amazing. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It was amazing.
So hold on a second, Cam. How you gonna go out for barbecue with Rodney Mack, the Red Dog, literally one of the legends, one of the top wrestlers out there, still beating people up? How you gonna do that without your brother Al, man? What's really going on? Is this a heel turn that we see already happening with one of the Russell twins?
But it was no offense, Alan, but it was a quick moment, during catering,
Gotcha.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
So Al, what have you been getting into, man? What's the best food that you've tried down in Texas that you may not necessarily be able to get in Florida?
So like there's this food truck and they have like this, like, I don't know what it's called, but they have these like onions, they have fries, they have hot Cheetos, hot fries, and like a bunch of cheese, steak, like just chives and just all type of stuff in it. And it's like one of the best things I've ever had in my life. So,
man, I think we call that a mess. In some places they literally call that a mess. But I know it sounds silly, but that's what they call it, because what they do is they take the bag of hot Cheetos and they open it up in the middle, and then they put all those toppings on top of the hot Cheetos. So all the meat, all the cheese, all the chives, everything, sour cream, you name it. And then it melts the hot Cheetos just enough to make them, they're still crunchy, but they're a little softer than normal. Yeah. But the flavor combination is just tremendous, right?
Right.
Incredible. Now, have y'all seen the big cups of fruit? You know, you can get that big cup of fruit where they put the tahini on it, and they give you like a big ass skewer or toothpick where you can eat the fruit. Have you seen that? Melon and mango.
I've seen them. I've seen them. We just haven't like been able to get them.
Listen, that's a whole sugar rush right there, fellas. You be careful. Don't be wrestling a match after you don't eat that big thing of fruit there. That's all sugar right there. Yeah. It's funny because one of the things that I know I said to you fellas is, listen, fellas, you gotta put on some more weight, man. You fellas, I don't know what's up with that Florida food, but you know, we got to put some more meat on them bones. And now when I look at your bodies, it's clear that your bodies are developing more, which means you must be eating some good food in Texas, and then you're working off those calories when you get in the ring, right?
Well, we eating hella steak. See?
Yeah,
out in Texas.
We've been doing a lot of bulking like crazy though, 100% before. So.
It's so cool though, again, to go on this journey with you and to know when you folks first started, it was like, bam, you know what I mean? You just wanted to get out there, and now you're doing certain things differently and it's paying off. You're seeing the results, you know, what you're eating, how you're training, the people that you're working with. I think the quality of the opponents that you're working with has definitely improved. You're working on bigger shows. I mean, didn't you recently, you were on a show where there was a whole Titantron behind you, right?
Oh yeah, we did. That was a TSW. Yeah, it was like crazy. That's again with Rodney Mack and Jazz. There, you know, his dog pound as well. It's like it was a pretty great experience. It was pretty much like we felt like superstars, you know what I mean?
Yeah, honestly, it was a great experience.
Yeah, in the locker room, it was just great. We talked to a lot of great people, a lot of vets, and being able to go out there in front of the crowd and being able to perform in front of all those people and then have a big Tron behind us with our name on it. That was absolutely crazy. That's like one of my dreams, you know what I mean? Is to see something like that. It came true sooner than I thought. So it was pretty crazy. So,
well, that's what happens when hard work starts paying off. And that's, again, the journey is so cool. One of the beauties of Duke Loves Rasslin is that I love to talk to indie wrestlers, especially when they're first starting off in their career, and then just keep bringing them back. So the listeners can join me and watching all of you develop. And it's funny because when I was a younger kid, and I was talking to Booker T about this recently, you know, WWE Hall of Famer. He is the owner and CEO of Reality of Wrestling, which is down in Houston there. And I was talking to Booker. I said, you know, I saw your very first televised match, Book, in Global Wrestling Federation, which was, you know, Dallas, Texas. That promotion was on ESPN back in the late 80s and early 90s. And a lot of folks don't even realize that ESPN was still kind of a smaller channel, but I had cable, so I got to see that. And Global was on there. Booker T's first match I got to see. I got to see Stevie Ray's first match. I got to see one of JBL's first matches. And to think about where these guys are today, because, you know, Booker went to WCW and then he went to WWF. And he, you know, Hall of Fame and all that. JBL went to the WWF, which we call WWE now, Hall of Fame. I basically got to see their whole career. So fast forward to today with two people like Al and Cam with a K, you know, the Russell twins. I'm in a position where I'm getting to watch your entire career. And it's so special and it's so important because you fellas are not giving up. You're putting it together and you're starting to see the importance of doing it the right way, and you're starting to gain some success. You know, people are saying your name out there, man, which is really, really special. So my question, and I'm going to start with you, Cam, what can we expect from the Russell twins for the rest of the year? I mean, what are your goals for the rest of 2022 and going into 2023?
Well, definitely, as you can see, we holding 4 belts at the moment. So why not make it 5, 6, 7, or 8? You know. So my goal, I think our goal for the rest of this year is to rack up some more belts and let people know just who we are.
What about you, Al? What's your goal for the rest of 2022 and going into 2023?
Goal number one for us would be to get a contract. That's always number one goal. Whether it's, I'm not going to name drop any places, but the main goal is to wrestle on a really big platform, so that we're able to showcase our skills in front, like, to a larger audience. And that's really the goal. And I want to get some titles there. And also another goal, I guess I could say, is it's a team that I want to face, you know what I mean? And it's FTR. So I know I'm setting the bar pretty high, but FTR is a team that we've been scoping out for a while, and we think they're pretty good.
Well, let me just say this: FTR, no flips, just fists. I never liked FTR. You know, you two fellas are a bunch of punks. You walk around like you're big shots. You think you're the best tag team in the world. You're not. So here's how it's going to go down. Brother Al and Brother Cameron with a K, they're challenging you, FTR. Okay? Step up to the plate. You say that you're the best. Prove that you're the best. You can come down to Texas.
Exactly.
You can send a plane ticket, and they'll come up and find you wherever the hell you are. But you guys with your little fancy, cute little jackets, you want to be ripoffs of Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. You think you're the Horseman. I'm challenging FTR personally. I'm putting a bounty on the heads of FTR. I want the Russell twins and FTR in that match so we could find out once and for all who the real best tag team on the planet is. And FTR, just so you know, I think you're going to come up a little short. So I'm laying the gauntlet down right there. That is what Duke Loves Rasslin is saying. Tony Khan, I know you're listening right now too. Make it happen, Jack. Okay, because the Russell twins, that's my team. That's my pick. I think they can whoop your boys. So let's see what happens next. Okay, there it is. I just put you guys in all kinds of trouble, just so you know.
Yeah, I know.
Well, listen, I cut the promo. You didn't, so you're okay. Don't worry. All right. You could always, say, well, I didn't say that. You know, man, that's pro wrestling. Why not? Let's have some fun. Let's challenge the veterans out there. And you know, FTR, they are a special tag team, so I'm sure that they would try their best to keep up with you guys. I don't know if they can, but it would be interesting to see them at least try to keep up with you guys. So,
how can you claim to be the best if you haven't wrestled the best? We holding the Dog Pound Championship, Wrestling Tag Team Championship. So I'm saying, you know, what a better tag team is there?
And listen, I don't think FTR is big and bad enough to even try to challenge anybody from the Dog Pound, especially the Russell twins. I think they're afraid of y'all.
That's the thing. It don't have to be for that. It could just be, you know, knuckles and fists. We don't have to put a belt on the line. You know, it could just be FTR versus DRT, just duking it out.
I know Rodney Mack trained you fellas well, man, because y'all ain't backing down from anybody. I love it. That's what we want to hear right there. You know, lay the gauntlet down, put the challenge out there. Let's see who wants to step up. You know, and FTR, I'm just going to say it again. I don't know if you can keep up with these boys. You know, the Russell twins, they got 4 belts. You know, they can take yours too.
We got 5 actually.
Hey, 5. You know, we might make it 6. You know, so we'll see what happens there. Listen, Al, why don't you let everybody know what's the best way that folks can keep up with the Russell twins, continue to follow your journey, because you know the sky's the limit for you fellas.
The best way to keep up with us, we just made a Twitter. My Twitter is Allen Russell. That's ALLEN RUSSELL 939 on Twitter, and then on Instagram is Allen Russell 939. On Facebook is just Allen Russell. Instagram is the Russell Twins. That's DARUSSELL TWINS. That's the Russell Twins on Instagram, and you can look at it. You can look us up on YouTube. That's the Russell Twins as well, and you can find us and you can follow our journey on YouTube. We're about to get ready to post some vlogs soon.
You can follow me on Instagram or all platforms. You can just look up Carebird Russell. That's Carebird with a K. You can look up my TikTok. it's going to be under Dirty Cam. That's DRT, lowercase y, capital KAM. And you'll find me in all my videos and all my history, you know. And then the same thing with the YouTube. Yes, we will improve on the YouTube. The YouTube been slacking because we've been in the process of building ourselves up, learning us. Yeah. So that way you guys understand, for all the people that was leaving comments and stuff. I'm throwing it out there now. That's why. So the Russell Twins will be back on YouTube. We are now back on Twitter. Speaking of Twitter, I forgot to put that in. You can follow me on Twitter. That's Cameron Russell. That's Cameron with a K.
Where are folks going to catch you fellas wrestle in the next couple of weeks?
Well, next couple of weeks, this weekend, like I said, this weekend will be the Love Alive Charities Great American Clash, and it'll be a big show. This weekend we're wrestling The End, NWA's The End, and we're wrestling for the Love Alive Charity Tag Team Championships. Coming up after that, it will be in Eustis, Florida. It'll be a MCW Movement Championship Wrestling.
And we don't know who we're going to face, but we think Coach Inc. will be there. So
Coach Inc. will be there. So they will be in the building.
Yeah. That's a long-standing beef right there. Wait a second.
We were just informed. I was like, okay, so they're going to be there.
You know, you fellas have been battling to see who is the real kings of Florida there. And I know that, you know, both of your teams have been down in Texas as well. It seems like there's some parallels going on. I'm just throwing this out there, and I'm not saying nothing. I'm just saying Culture Inc., the Russell Twins, any promoter out there right now, and especially you big-time promoters and these big-time companies on TV, because I know you're listening. Culture Inc., the Russell Twins, nothing but money right there. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Listen, Al, Cameron with the K, thank you for coming back and joining us again on Duke Loves Rasslin. And we look forward to checking in with you in the not too distant future to find out what you have coming up next.
Well, yeah, thank you for having us, bro.
Thank you.
For real. Like, love it.
If you are a content creator and you want a great program that provides studio quality sound, especially when you're doing interviews, then I encourage you to check out Zencastr. That's right, Zencastr. It is my absolute favorite program to record with. I encourage everyone to check it out, okay? Visit Zencastr.com for more information. Enjoy.
Hey guys, it's Dog Pound Championship Wrestling superstar Nate Nasty Nate, and you're listening to Duke Loves Rasslin podcast.
All right, so listen, Nate Nasty Nate, we got to talk about this, okay? Because you have the longest name in all of pro wrestling. Are you some kind of African prince or something like that? Because I went to school with a guy. And his name was Odebo Oluwashem Diallo, okay, which it took me years to even like memorize that and be able to say that out loud. The man has like 50 million names all in one there. So that's what's going on with Nasty Nate Nasty. What the hell? Are you an African prince? Tell me the truth there.
All right, so we're going to start off from the top. There is no royal blood in any part of my body, not one bit. But I can tell you that there have been so many things that have run through this body that once you get to know me, once you get to meet me, once you see me in action, ain't no other way to describe me but nasty. So nasty, you got to call me it twice.
Now what's so nasty about you? I mean, are you just some rule breaking heel? Are you cheating to win all the time, and that's why you're nasty Nate Nasty?
Well, no, Duke, you know, you're a friend. You're becoming a friend, so I shield you away from the majority of my venom, but it all really comes out from the tongue. It's the things that I say. There's nothing that I like more than hearing people, whether it be fans, whether it be other wrestlers, I get off on other people's screams. And the best and easiest way to make people scream is to hurt them. So by proxy, Duke, I really like hurting people. And I really like talking a bunch of mess right in their ear while I'm hurting them. It's you know, kids these days, they get off on their Nintendos and their Steams and their Xboxes and whatnot. I'm an old school type of cat. I like putting people in pain and listening to them scream, and I just get a chuckle out of it.
Well, that is very, very interesting and very scary. I'm glad I'm on your good side here. Nasty Nate Nasty. Jesus, that name. It's like a riddle, okay? I got to make sure that I get this right here because I don't want to mess around and piss you off here. Now, talk to me about this accent that you have, because I'm a Boston guy. So, you know, I have my accent, even though I don't hear it, but everybody else tells me I have an accent. You got some kind of Gambit, New Orleans type of something going on with you, man. Where is this accent from? What is it about? And when are you going to star in the new X-Men movie?
Well, so I'm actually originally from Houston, Texas. Born in Houston and then raised in San Antonio. So no New Orleans or Louisiana. And then as far as the X-Men movie goes, man, they can't handle any of this. If anything, man, I'd be the next Wolverine, but a better looking Hugh Jackman.
Wow. Okay. Well,
said nasty, it. Meant
Nate Nasty. Yeah, you said it. You meant it. There it is. Put it on a postcard and mail it out, Jack. There it is.
Well, so actually, Duke, it's Nate Nasty. Nasty Nate. It's the nasty sandwich in the middle. That's your one warning, Duke. The next time, I might have to use you as my ashtray and put my cigarette out on you. All right?
Okay. Well, I just want to make something very clear, okay? I have short legs that can move fast. You will have to catch me. I am not a fighter. I'm definitely a talker and a lover, but you would have to catch me if you're going to sit there and roll me up and smoke me and put me out or what have you. I don't want any problems here. Nate Nasty Nate with the nasty sandwich, whatever you want to call it. I don't want any.
There it is.
Okay? See, I had to get it right that time.
There it is, the nasty sandwich right in the middle.
It. You're putting the heat on me here. So who were the people that have really been getting on your skin lately? Because from what I understand, I've done my research. You know, I had a conversation with the man, the Red Dog, Rodney Mack, and he told me that you've been having some problems lately down there at Dog Pound Championship Wrestling. What's going on there?
Well, you know, it really starts at the beginning. Last September, I was invited to the Dog Pound Championship Wrestling to make my debut. That went phenomenal. Didn't pick up a W, but had a phenomenal debut, a phenomenal showing. And then since October of last year, there has been one man, there has been one guy that just consistently shows up and pesters me. And that is the 60-year-old outlaw, Haas Holding, who happens to be our reigning and defending pound-for-pound champion. And so Haas Holding and I, we actually go way back, years. We have known each other, have interacted with each other, and all he has ever done is be this prima donna of just a human being. You know, for a guy that's 60 years old, I've never seen a man walk around with such bedazzled pants, and he calls himself a cowboy. And he is our current reigning and defending pound-for-pound champion. And on many occasions over the past, 6 months, me and Haas Holding have gone head-to-head in battle. In fact, I just wrestled him this past weekend in Brady, Texas. And we had another knock him out, drag him down fight. And I've made a vow to myself. I've made a vow to my spiritual guide, Xander Grayson, that I will not stop. I will not quit. I will hunt Haas Holding until I have taken that pound-for-pound championship.
Well, I'm glad you bring this up because let me tell you something, Nate Nasty Nate, the nasty sandwich. The Big Hoss, Don Haas Holding, is a guy that I have had a feud with for many years. I don't like his face. I don't like the fact that he's taller than me. I don't like the fact that he can beat me up. There's just a lot of things about Haas Holding that I never liked. Okay. And I'm going to tell you something else. I'm going to give you an inside scoop on this guy. I don't think he's a real cowboy. Okay? He doesn't know a single Waylon Jennings song. He doesn't know a Clint Black song. He's never seen My Darling Clementine. I don't even know if he's ever seen Wyatt Earp. So how the heck
Probably not.
Yeah, exactly. So Haas Holding is a cowboy when he doesn't even have the real street cred to be a cowboy. 60 years old, and he doesn't have the street cred to be a cowboy. I think this guy's a pretender. I think he's more of a pop music in sync type of guy. You know what I mean? He's doing TikTok and things like that. We may have to get to the bottom of this here. Nate Nasty Nate the Nasty Sandwich, because Haas Holding, he's kind of a pretty boy. He's not really rough around the edges, have a little dirt under the fingernails, get down and dirty with it there. He's not nasty like Nate Nasty. Okay, that's my opinion here. And if you can take care of this guy for me, I want him to sweat. I want him to pay the price of a wrestling lifetime. So if Nate Nasty Nate, the Nasty Sandwich, can take out Haas Holding for me, I will forever be in your debt.
Well, Duke, first of all, you're almost absolutely correct. I have personally heard this man pull up to a show with Florida Georgia Line blaring from his little Toyota Tundra. But where you are just the tiniest bit mistaken, Duke. All right, now I don't like Haas Holding. I'm not friends with Haas Holding. You'll never catch me and Haas Holding at the same watering hole, as he'd say. But I will say this about Haas: the man is tough as nails. The man's not afraid to get in there and take a hit. He was our very first pound-for-pound champion, winning it in a rumble in the pit, starting off at number 1, lasting the entire way through. He's gone to battle with me at least a handful of times just this year. He's taken on one-man Mike Dell, who is an absolute vet and a legend in this state and in this industry. And so Haas Holding is not afraid of a fight. He's not afraid to knuckle up with somebody. And for that, I give him his due. But the fact is that he's not pound for pound. He's not pound for pound the best. He's not pound for pound the absolute top of Dog Pound Championship Wrestling. Because I believe, and I know, that that's me. And it doesn't take a deaf guy that can't hear that. It doesn't take a blind dude to not see that. It's glaringly obvious. If Matt Murdock was here, it would be signed, sealed, and delivered that Nate Nasty Nate, alongside with Xander Grayson and the Disciples of Gray, we and I am pound for pound the top of Dog Pound Championship Wrestling, without a doubt. And until I get that championship title from Haas Holding, I won't stop. Haas Holding will never be done with me until I say that I'm done with him. And I say that I'm not done with him until I have that championship gold around my waist.
You hear that, Haas Holding? You're nothing but a punk. You need to get rid of this contract, get out of this business, and get out of Nasty Nate Nasty's life. Okay? Hell is coming for you, Haas Holding. And the name is Nate Nasty. You got that right. I love it. Listen, Nate Nasty
yes,
Nate,
sir.
the
yes,
Nasty
sir.
Sandwich. Let everybody know what is the best way that they can keep up with you online, check out some of your stuff. Do you have any events coming up where they can actually come and see you beat the hell out of Haas Holding, hopefully?
Yeah, absolutely. So the number one way to get a hold of me is actually going to be Instagram. I'm very, very, very active on Instagram. The handle is literally just Nate Nasty Nate. You can also find me on Facebook and Twitter as well, Nate Nasty Nate. The next event that I have coming up, July 3rd at Ozark Mountain Wrestlings in Arkansas.
Good stuff. Now, what about the Dog Pound Dojo and Dog Pound Championship Wrestling? Give our friends over there a plug.
Well, man, so the Dog Pound Pro Wrestling Dojo, based out of San Antonio, Texas, ran by Rodney Mack and the Fighting Phenom Jazz. We train every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. We are based out of San Antonio, Texas, and all you have to do to join the pack, you show up, you get ready to work, and you come work with some of the top wrestlers in the entire state of Texas. And then Dog Pound Championship Wrestling, I believe our next event is going to be August 13th as of right now. I know that there is talk about getting a July date going on, but as of right now, the next event for Dog Pound Championship Wrestling is August 13th in Castroville, Texas, which happens to be Haas Holdings' hometown.
I'm Harry Burkett, senior writer with Pro Wrestling Illustrated.
And I'm Kevin McElvaney, editor-in-chief of Pro Wrestling Illustrated.
And you're listening to Duke Loves Rasslin.
Folks, as always, be kind to yourselves and be kind to others. Take it away, Tony Schiavone.
This is Tony Schiavone, and we're desperately out of time on Duke Loves Rasslin.